Welcome to day one of our daily voice challenge. And today is going to be all about the foundations. I want you to be able to open up each day and not feel like you have to hear the introduction every time, but the introduction is also really important. And so I want this to be a video that you can come back to anytime that you need, but also just to have the foundation at the beginning and just know that every day we're going to build upon this foundation and you're going to have all the tools in your toolbox. And so I may not always say each of these foundational elements every time. I may try to briefly, but I want you to think each lesson, I want you to use these concepts. Okay. So the foundation, whenever we're singing, we're starting with our body, our posture. Okay. And so one of the things that I like to try to incorporate is almost a little bit of yoga mindset. So when we're standing, we are always feet shoulder width apart. Okay. And one foot slightly in front of the other. And you are going to think about this upward current of energy coming up from your toes and up your front body and then down your back body. And what that does is it takes you from tech neck or slump shoulders into this, my shoulders are back and down, my sternum is high, and my chin is tucked down just a little bit. You just want to feel like if you were hanging from a thread from the ceiling, that you would kind of be in this posture of your head really straight. You're not putting your neck up or down. However, you may want to start doing that with a little warm up. Okay, so I always love to roll out the neck, stretch out the back with your shoulders down and back. But once you kind of get some of those muscles worked out, feet shoulder width apart, one foot slightly in front of the other. And another thing that I want you to think about is when you're standing, okay, pretend like you're standing on a big piece of paper and you're trying to split the paper in half with your feet. So you're kind of like activating the sides of the glutes and the thighs and even your calves, okay? So it's not super strong, you don't want to be hurting your knees, but you're just engaging those muscles a little bit by feeling like you're trying to push apart or break a piece of paper apart. So these muscles are engaged, okay? And then you'll notice that it kind of engages and activates your whole body when you do that. So we've got our feet shoulder width apart, one foot slightly in front. We're feeling this pushing apart of the legs, or our shoulders are back and down, our chin is tucked under. And I don't know about you, but this sure feels like a power pose to me. I feel more energized. I feel like I'm just ready to smile. I'm ready to face the day. I feel really good. I really, honestly, truly feel better than I did when I started this video. Just being in this power pose. You could even put your arms up. I always suggest stretching before, or start all my students with stretching as we begin and opening up the body. But just being in this position just feels so good. So enjoy that posture. And then we are going to talk about breathing. So breathing is obviously fundamental to singing. And when you sing, you want to put your hand over your, kind of like above your belly button. And the diaphragm, talk about something that's elusive. Sing from your diaphragm. What does that mean, right? That's what we all grew up hearing. But this diaphragm is like a balloon underneath the rib cage and underneath the lungs, and it can kind of fill up. So when we take a breath in, we want to be able to feel this diaphragm expand. So that means it's going to expand 360. So you're going to feel an expansion in your back, in your sides, and in your front, okay? So you want to avoid breathing into your shoulders like this. As you can see, there's a lot of neck tension, and you don't have as much control over how efficient you are with exhaling and singing, which is an exhale, and controlling that breath. So we want to breathe into this diaphragm. So I like to have you put your hands on your side so you can feel kind of the back and the side and the front, and then one hand above your belly button. And you're just going to take a couple breaths in. And just kind of feel that. And let's try hissing out. So you're going to take a breath in, and then you're going to hiss till you can't, till you run out of breath. So we'll breathe in, nice and low, and you can feel like you're even breathing and inhaling down into your toes. Obviously, you're not doing that, but it just helps visualize taking in that air down low. So breathe in and hiss out. Until you run out of breath. And then you'll breathe in again. Now, this time we're going to add on to it. So when you breathe in and hiss out, what I want you to try to do is push your hand in on your stomach, and at the same time, resist letting your hand push in by kind of engaging your core muscles and pushing back against your hand. So instead of going and kind of just letting all the air out, you're going to try to make a very efficient exhale. So you're going to breathe in, push back against the hand, and what you're going to find is you can hold your breath longer. It's a more efficient way to exhale. And then what we're going to do is, as we get better and better with that, you are going to not only do that when you're hissing, but you're going to be doing that when you're singing and holding out a note. So if you breathe in, and we want to do maybe a scale. So maybe we'll do an A scale. So we'll do just a simple scale. We'll do it on La. Okay. So if we just sing la 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 la. Okay, like that's fine. But when we add in this element of this nice low breath in, pushing back against our hand, you're going to feel like you have more power with less effort. So let's give it a try. So we're going to breathe in, push back against your hand and resist, and sing la 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 la. And it just feels, like more powerful. Like I could hold that phrase longer if I wanted to. So we're going to be using that fundamental in every single warm up. So the idea is feet shoulder width apart, one foot slightly in front, breathing down to the toes, low, feeling that expansion, 360 with the diaphragm. And then upon the exhale, we push in with our hand a little bit, resist by pushing back with our stomach muscles, or a la, and pushing back against our hand. Okay? So that is some basic warm-up juice that we're going to use every time, and it's really important. So it's great to just have that foundation, and you can practice that as long as you want. I think what I'm going to do now is play some warm-ups and just give you a chance to practice that, give you a chance to feel and practice, okay, like that low breath and then pushing back against the hand. So we're going to do, instead of just doing on La, I'm going to teach you this what we call SOVT exercises. It stands for semi-occluded vocal tract. And what these exercises do is they prohibit all of the air that you're bringing from your body. They prohibit that air from coming out all at once. And so what happens is that energy comes back into your vocal cords, giving it a little turbo boost. It's awesome. I always think of a car with a turbo boost on it, and so it doesn't give you energy for forever, but it gives you an energy for a short period of time and creates a lot of really nice efficiency, clarity, and my voice always feels lighter. It feels effortless to sing, so much better than before I do the exercises. So if you happen to have a straw, I didn't put this in the first video of things you'd need. If you have a singing straw, this is actually called the Singing Straw. It's a company that you can order a straw through, but you can also use any straw, or if you don't, so this is what it'll do. If you don't have a little straw, I always have my students just make a straw sound, a straw posture with your lips. So you'll just go. So it's not that, it's you're really trying to push the breath through, not through your nose, but through your mouth, and that's going to push that energy back in the exact same way that the straw does. It's just the straw makes it easy. You don't have to think about how tight your lips are and things like that. But I'm going to, for the sake of today, in case you don't have a straw, I'm just going to do it with my mouth. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this breath in, pushing our hand in, and resisting letting that breath out while we do this straw sound. And we're gonna do just that same scale that we did on the law. Okay, and we'll come back down with it. So it's gonna sound like this. Nice breath in, hand over the belly button. And then repeat with the breath. Let's try it again. We're gonna step up. Ready? Here's our starting note. Breath in. Resist against the hand. Stepping up. Take a little breath if you need to. This can make you a little lightheaded, so take a pause if you need to. Nice breath in. How is that feeling with your breath pushing against your hand pushing in? There's a lot of mechanics that we're working on in here, and I understand it's tricky. So just keep working on it. I bet you're doing great. Also recognize that I'm leaning over to play the scales on the piano. If I was not doing that, I would want to keep my body nice and straight. I need to hire an accompanist. But you're keeping your body, your back body and front body in line, and shoulders back and down, still thinking about pushing those feet apart. So don't forget some of those things. I'm leaning over and not having the best posture for singing, so just keep that in mind. Here's our starting note here. Ready? Breathe in. Nice breath in. Did I mention that you might look a little silly doing voice lessons with your cheeks all big? It's all a part of the fun. Now, if you notice your voice cuts out like mine did, mine cut out on that high B, don't try to push it. See, like my voice is a little bit tired today, but I said, it's not gonna stop me from making these videos. So if that happens and your voice cuts out, you don't need to push it and try to force that note out. Just let it not come out. As you do these exercises more and more, it's going to get more effortless. And so just trust the process. We're gonna do one more. These are getting a little high for me, but we're gonna go all the way up from treble C up to high C. Okay, we'll do this last one. Take a nice breath in. Oh, wow, you just did 2 octaves plus a third in that SOVT exercise. So how does your voice feel? I do feel like my voice feels a little bit lighter, a little bit more effortless, like I could sing some higher notes than I could when I started. So I hope that's how you feel too. So these are some basic fundamental things that you're gonna see in the videos to come. Our posture, standing feet shoulder width apart, 1 foot slightly in front, engaging our thighs and our glutes by feeling like we're pulling that piece of paper apart a little bit, feeling the upward current from the ground, creating this energy of our shoulders back and down and our sternum high, feeling that chin tucked under, that 360 breath with the diaphragm, and then that resistance pushing against our belly, pushing back against our hand by engaging our core muscles. And then when you put all that together, you're using all of your muscles and then some, with the help of the current from the ground and some of those other things that we're using without even really realizing it. So I hope this was helpful for you. And then also remember that SOVT sound with the straw. And if your voice is tired throughout the day, you can just do a couple glides and it just pops your voice back into place. It takes you from that kind of bringing your pitch down as the day goes on, or if you're teaching a lot, you're using your voice. It just helps you to just go, oh yeah, I can speak with energy and up a little bit higher in my register, and I'm ready to go. So I hope this was helpful for you. This is the foundation of singing, the foundation of what we're going to be working on in the next couple of weeks. And I look forward to seeing you again in our next video. Have a great day.